Chris!
Xand?
I'm stuck in the lift.
Well, what a coincidence. There's a new patient in the emergency department, and they're in a sticky situation too.
Chris? Chris?
Over at the Alder Hay Emergency Department, there's action on the helipad.
6-year-old Jay has been airlifted to hospital because he needed to get here fast. The whole trauma team are on standby, ready to help.
What's happened, buddy?
I ran into a car.
Yikes! You ran into a car. You should never run into the road. Well, let's find out what happened.
Jay was out walking with his dad.
Chris, he's wearing pyjamas. Shouldn't he be in bed?
They're not pyjamas, Xand. Jay was on his way to Taekwondo.
Oh. So, Jay was walking to Taekwondo when suddenly he was ambushed by ninja cats. Jay used his coolest Taekwondo moves to defeat them, but it broke his leg.
No Xand, no cat ninjas. Jay stepped out into the road, but he wasn't paying attention, and he ran out without looking.
Watch out!
Too late, the car hit him, injuring his leg.
Ouch! Leading the trauma team is Dr. Shirley Mulvaney.
Is that sore? Sore there. Belly's nice and soft, no bruising.
Being hit by a car is very dangerous, so Dr. Shirley checks Jay for serious internal injuries.
You're doing really, really well.
Luckily, his internal organs are all okay. But what about his leg?
It's off to X-ray to find out.
So, what's the verdict, Dr. Mulvaney?
The tibia and the fibula are both broken.
So that's two very broken bones that need fixing.
Yeah, they're so skewy. The first job is to straighten them out.
Orthopedic surgeon Mr. Jurgis is on hand.
We pull it to get it back to length and try to reset it back in position.
Jay's bones have been straightened, but he'll need an operation to put metal pins in to hold them in place while they heal.
He'll be having the surgery tomorrow. So, with a temporary cast on for support, it's now off to the ward for Jay.
Sleep well, buddy, and we'll catch up with you later on. Did you know the femur bone in your thigh is stronger than concrete? So be sure to look after those legs of yours.
The school playground, a great place to play, blow off steam and relax with your friends.
But with so much going on, it can also be a place of danger.
You could fall off the climbing frame.
Or bash your head playing hide and seek.
With so many different ways to hurt yourself, you can never be too careful.
Absolutely. Oh. Ow! Ouch! My leg! I think it's broken.
Oh dear, looks like an injury alert.
Ouch!
So, what should you do if you break a leg? A. Ask your mum if she'll carry you around the house for 6 months. B. Support the injured leg to keep it still and call 999. C. Chop the leg off. It's no use now it's broken.
I recommend B because doctors can heal it instead of like C, chopping your leg off and you don't have no leg.
Aya is right. The correct answer is B. Now, check this out.
OK, so the first thing we're going to do is support Xand's broken leg. You don't need anything fancy for this. We can just use whatever is around.
Remember, we're showing you what to do in an emergency, but it's always best to find an adult.
So Xand, how does your leg still feel? OK, so I think we do need to call 999. 999, ring, ring.
Which service do you require?
I want an ambulance, please.
And what's your location?
I'm at the Operation Out School in Children's BBC. Dr. Xand has broken his leg.
Stay with the patient and we'll send an ambulance.
Great, thank you very much. Bye-bye. So now we're going to sit with Dr. Xand, provided he doesn't shout too loudly, and make sure that he's OK until the ambulance gets here.
Time for this lot to have a go.
Let me help you.
Yeah, Eunice, that's really good. It looks nice. So you just don't want to move that leg at all. You just want to support it.
So what are you going to do, Endrit?
999.
Go for it.
What service do you require?
Ambulance, please. My friend Robert's broken his leg and he needs help.
Staying calm, knowing that everything's going to be OK and knowing they will send an ambulance is really important.
So, if you think you might have broken your leg, support it to stop it moving using anything that's handy and tell an adult or call 999.
Luckily, mine was only a sprain.
Good.
We can keep on playing then. Come on, Xand, make an effort.
We've got some incredible body tricks for you to show your friends.
Want to find out how you can stop your mates from simply picking up something off the floor?
We're going to show you.
Xand, to do this trick, I'm going to need some money.
Oh, all right. But it's my lunch money. I'm going to need it back.
Well, I tell you what, Xand, you can have it back if you can pick it up off the floor. If you don't pick it up, I get it.
Sounds quite easy. I got it. That was a rubbish trick. Who thinks that was a rubbish trick?
All right, Xand, well, we'll do it again. This time, you won't be able to pick up the money. So go and stand against the wall. And now, keeping your feet where they are, I just want you to bend down and pick up the money. Come on, Xand, pick it up.
Chris, what have you done?
Ah, I can't get it.
That's hard.
So it looks like I get the lunch money, doesn't it?
Come on then, let's see if anyone else can do it. He can't.
She definitely can't.
So why can't anyone, including Xand, pick up the money?
When you bend over, your bum pushes back, and the wall's stopping it from pushing back.
Georgia's got it. Normally, when you bend over to pick something up, your body will adjust itself backwards in order to balance it out. So when your body's flat against the wall, you can't go backwards, and there's no chance of picking up that money. All you can do is fall forwards.
So I'm going to need the money back from all of you guys. Give me my money back! Come on, Xand.
Remember Scott and his badly cut leg? Well, let's find out how he's getting on.
And this is not for the squeamish.
Back in Liverpool, Scott's been in overnight with an injured leg. Scott was on his mountain bike having a wheelie competition with his mates.
They're not wearing helmets.
I know, Xand. Suddenly, his foot slipped off the pedal.
Oh, be careful.
At first, he thought it was just a scratch, but when he looked at it, he cried out.
Ouch!
It is hurting me, but a lot better from yesterday.
It might not be as sore as it was, but Scott needs an operation to get that wound fixed up.
So it's in with the anaesthetic and off to sleep for Scott.
Now it's surgery time. A few tweaks and...
Let's give it a wash and see what we're dealing with.
In the hot seat today, Surgeon Ravi Badge.
First, Mr. Badge needs to cut away all the dirty, contaminated tissue at the edge of the wound.
He then gives the whole thing a right good clean to keep it free from infection and help it heal.
Soon, it's time to start stitching.
If you're squeamish, look away now.
There, that's that.
Great job, Doc. Very neat.
Scott was fortunate that he didn't do any damage to the nerve and the blood vessel which was running on the back of his leg. He got away with the minor injury.
Scott's soon up on his feet again and keen to get back to his favourite hobby, boxing. Bye, Scott.
Bye.
Back in accident and emergency, Tamsin's waiting for news about her injured leg.
Let's find out how she's getting on.
In Sheffield, 9-year-old Tamsin's back in hospital. How are you feeling?
I've still got pain, but I hope it's nothing bad.
It all happened when Tamsin's knee was injured at her Thai boxing class.
And then her shin in a hockey match.
Tamsin's first x-rays showed she didn't have any broken bones.
But she was in such pain that her leg was put in a cast to help ease her discomfort.
Tamsin is back for more x-rays to be doubly sure there's no damage.
They'll do very nicely.
Here to assess how Tamsin's doing is Dr. Naidu Maripuri.
He starts by moving the agonising ankle.
Clearly, she's still in a lot of pain.
Dr. Naidu then takes a look at Tamsin's x-ray results.
I can't see any obvious fractures there.
Yay!
Sometimes what happens is that even if you don't see anything in the x-rays, there will be some soft tissue injury around the ankle.
A soft tissue injury is the damage of muscles, ligaments and tendons around the bone.
They usually come from a sprain, strain, or whack to the skin like Tamsin got higher up her leg.
It can swell, bruise, and be really painful.
So best way to deal with is protect it with this plaster, so that it helps healing. And then we'll see her in 2 weeks' time.
Don't worry, Mum, it'll be okay.
This time, it's a full cast.
It's only for a couple of weeks. By then, her ankle should have healed.
Anything else you want to say or sing, Tamsin?
I've got another pot, I've got guitar, I've got like many, 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 many colours.
That'll do nicely. Bye!
We're on call with the UK Emergency Services, showing you what it's really like on the front line saving lives.
On call with me is paramedic Xand. This is a rapid response vehicle, and it's on standby 24/7 to respond to whatever emergency calls coming in. Today, I'm going along for the ride, and guess what? You're coming with me.
Jan can take 10 to 15 emergency call-outs in a day.
And a new case is just in.
So we've had a 999 call to a 53-year-old lady who's injured her ankle. So it could be anything from a simple sprain to blood loss, severe pain, and maybe some other cause for the fall that could be life-threatening as well. So we've got to get there quickly, find out what's going on.
The call has taken us right into the centre of town.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it Linda?
It is.
What's happened?
Tripped over the man ankle.
Oh, just the edge of that raised platform there? So was you knocked unconscious at all? No? Have you hit your head or the back of your neck or your back at all?
No.
What have you injured?
My knee and my ankle.
Okay.
Sore.
Are you able to bend your knee at all?
I do, but my ankle hurts.
Your ankle hurts when you bend it? Okay.
Yeah.
Press down on my hand. Push down as hard as you can. Where does that hurt when you push down?
On my ankle.
On the outside?
Yeah.
Linda's ankle is clearly causing her a lot of pain.
So it may just look like Jan's feeling her ankle, but in fact, she's feeling in very particular places. There's a set of rules called the Ottawa ankle rules, and they help you decide whether they're likely to have broken a bone. So Jan's trying to figure out which bits are tender. That'll tell us whether she needs to go to hospital.
Yeah, I'm going to need Emma back up for this patient. She's unable to weight bear, needs an x-ray.
Using the Ottawa rules, Jan has decided that the ankle is probably broken and Linda does need an ambulance.
At the moment, she's quite uncomfortable. We're managing to keep her warm, but she can't walk on that leg. So we need to get her to hospital and get her an x-ray. She can be treated from there.
It's important to keep it still so that if she's got any bones that are broken, if the edges rub together, it can create a lot of pain and it can create some bleeding, which will make the ankle worse as well. You're doing it, that's it. Well done, darling. Are you able to twist around a little bit? There you go.
It's really good that Jan was able to assess her really quickly, get her an ambulance, and get her to hospital where she needs to be.
And once there, the doctors discovered Linda's ankle was broken, and it was soon fixed.
Remember Alice and her dislocated knee?
Well, let's head back to the accident and emergency department to see how she's getting on.
In Liverpool, Alice is back for an operation on her dodgy knee.
Oh yes, I remember. She was just chilling.
Oh no, you don't. We haven't got time. This is just a recap. It was break time at school, and Alice was sitting on a table, swinging her leg.
Then she turned, and her kneecap popped out. Ouch!
So what is this op gonna do?
Hopefully it will make my life better.
And with that, Alice heads off down to theatre for an operation to rebuild her knee ligament using one of her own tendons.
Now remember, your body is tied together to keep everything in place. Ligaments tie bones to bones and tendons tie muscles to bones. But Alice's ligament is damaged, making her knee wobbly and unstable.
Still smiling, Alice is soon off to sleep and ready for knee fixer extraordinaire, Mr. Nick Barton Hansen.
It's lights, camera, action, as Nick's using a special camera to fix Alice's knee.
The first thing he does is pull out two of Alice's tendons. These long, stringy things attach muscles to bones.
So that's going to be the new ligament when it's put in.
Before that, he needs to stretch them. This makes them less elastic and a bit stronger.
Now he needs to get Alice's knee ready for her new ligament. A shaver and vaporizer gets rid of the old damaged ligament and scar tissue.
Next, a hole is drilled in the bone to hold the new ligament. Now the new ligament is prepped and ready to go into Alice's knee.
That done, the whole thing's tightened up and locked in place with a plastic screw.
That's more like it. It doesn't wobble around anymore or dislocate.
Ain't Mr. Hanson the man?
Alice gets stitched up.
And we're finished. Operation went very well. She's got a lot of hard work to do herself now. I think she'll do very well with it and she should be fine.
Our patient is soon awake, but it will take 6 weeks of physiotherapy to get her knee working again.
Hopefully I can do sport now and football and I'll be yay!
Great result.
Bye, Alice. Bye, Bear. It's not only teams in hospitals that deal with medical emergencies.
All over the UK, there are teams of paramedics on standby, ready to help.
We're on call with the UK Emergency Services, showing you what it's really like on the front line saving lives.
Paramedics use state-of-the-art vehicles like this to respond to medical emergencies within minutes. And today, I'm going with them to see what it's like to be first on the scene. Yo! On call with me is paramedic Xand. She can do 20 emergency call-outs in a day.
And a new case has come through.
So the call's just come in about an 83-year-old woman with one of her legs swollen. So we need to get there as quick as possible.
Following a fall 3 days ago, Doreen's leg has swollen up and she's not been able to leave the house. Her daughter is concerned something serious could be wrong.
We need to see if that knee needs draining. It's quite swollen, isn't it, in comparison to the other one?
To have her leg properly looked at, she'll need to go to hospital.
5157, can I have Amber back up, please, Eva? So I'll arrange for an ambulance to come and pick you up. I'll do your blood pressure and...
Yeah, and everything.
You look gorgeous, Doreen. You look gorgeous.
Have you had any clots before?
No.
No.
Not so no more.
One of the main things I think might be going on is she might have a clot, which can happen in older people. And in her legs, that doesn't cause her too much problem, but it can be dangerous if it moves from the legs and goes to the lungs.
With the ambulance on its way, we have time to do some important tests that will help the hospital when Doreen gets there.
Doreen, this is a tracing of your heart, and you can see it's nice and regular.
Glad something's right.
All the lines are the right way up and the right height, and they look fine.
This is Doreen. Had a fall on Saturday. Pain in her left knee with swelling. Left lower leg.
The ambulance crew have arrived and Doreen's in great shape. She's really cheery, but she has got this knee pain. So we need to get her to hospital, fix the pain, and then she can come home again.
We've got what's called a striker chair to get Doreen downstairs on. And it's a special design chair that has runners rather than wheels, so it can slide down the stairs.
What do you think of this, Doreen? I've never seen one of these before. I might get one myself. Doreen's an amazing woman, but today her leg's a bit swollen. She can't walk around as easily as normal, so she's going to get to hospital. And luckily, when she needed help, Jan and the amazing chair were here to give it.
With hundreds of rapid response crews in the UK, if you have an accident, an emergency service like this won't be far away.
In accident and emergency, there's another patient in need of some help.
Let's go meet him.
Him? He's called Mohammad.
In Liverpool, 9-year-old Mohammad is in accident and emergency after a fall at a fairground.
I fell and twisted my leg.
Let's find out more about Mohammed's agonising injury.
It was a beautiful sunny day.
Hang on, Chris, wasn't it the school holidays?
Oh, yeah.
That's better.
Perfect. So Mohammad and his family went to the local fun fair.
Oh, look, there's candy floss, my favourite.
There are lots of rides too.
Can we go on the carousel? Or the pirate ship?
Xand, we're not there. Mohammad is, and he's on a bouncy castle slide.
Whee!
He was having great fun bouncing up and down the slide, but then he bounced off the bottom and twisted his leg when he landed.
Ouch!
It hurts a lot.
Here to delve a little deeper is consultant Mr. Andrew Depar.
Where is it most painful?
On the top, yeah.
Mr. Depar checks how much movement Mohammad has in his leg.
Can you just move your toes for me?
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Can you move your whole foot up a little bit?
He's not managing to move it much there, Chris.
No, is that a bit painful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mohammed has had some x-rays and it's clear there's a nasty break.
Our x-rays have shown that he's got what we call a spiral fracture of his, just at the bottom of his leg.
Mohammed has a spiral fracture of the tibia, the big bone in his lower leg.
A spiral fracture is caused by a twisting force along the bone.
This kind of fracture is different because the break is circular, not straight.
Mohammad, you're doing fantastic, well done.
So now Mohammed's getting a temporary cast called a back slab, so if his leg swells up, it won't get squashed.
Okay, you're all done there, mister.
And then it's off to x-ray to make sure the cast is holding the bones in the correct position.
Nice and still. Lovely, all done.
And the verdict from the new x-ray?
That all looks fine. I've chatted to my bosses about it. So we'll let you go home and we'll see you back in a few days. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah.
And have we learned any lessons, Mohammed?
I won't be going on a bouncy castle slide anymore. Ever again.
Fair enough.
Mohammed's cast will be swapped in a few days for a full plaster one, but for now, Mohammed and his temporary set of wheels are off home.
Bye, Mohammed.
Bye.
Now, did you know that the biggest muscle in your body is in your bum? And the smallest is in your ear, and it's thinner than a thread of cotton.
Really? That's amazing. And so's this.
An ordinary paper boy on an ordinary bike with a bag full of ordinary newspapers. Oh look, a daffodil. Yeah, that's not very interesting. So this guy likes to cycle. There's nothing amazing about that.
Oh yeah, Xand? Take a look at this. A not very ordinary road and a not very ordinary bike. Whoa! This is Dan Pullen, a junior BMX champion, the national #1. To get to be BMX champion, Dan uses the whole of his amazing body.
His brain prepares for the speed and stunts by releasing adrenaline to the muscles so they work for longer.
And boy, when you ride a bike like this, you need balance, control, and power.
Nice wheelie.
He has powerful muscles on the front of his thighs that power those accelerations and flex his legs for takeoff and landings. While on the back of his thighs, his hamstrings are working hard to coordinate his knees and hips, keeping him balanced and flexible. And his calf muscles provide power for uphill scrambles.
These muscles support his upper leg and flex his feet so he can balance on the pedals.
This sport involves a lot of training and a lot of commitment, a lot of gym work with the weights and stuff like that.
Wow, Dan has skills. His whole body works together to coordinate control of the bike and power into the jumps and absorb the landings.
This week's hero, BMX boy. Now that's amazing. We've got some incredible body tricks for you to show your mates. Want to fool your friends into thinking they're falling through the floor? Well, we're going to show you how.
So we've got a really good trick for you. Xand, I want you to lie on the ground. Okay, you comfortable?
Very comfortable.
So Xand, I want you to give me your feet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make your feet feel as if they're going through the floor.
No, you're not. This feels solid.
Give me your feet. These feet are this good. Can anyone else smell Xand's feet?
Xand, close your eyes.
And I'm going to slowly, slowly lower your feet. And it's going to feel like I've got these guys to dig a hole under your feet.
They're digging holes. I can't hear any digging holes.
How close do you think your feet are to the ground?
Probably about 10 centimetres off the ground.
10 centimetres?
More like 50 centimetres, but let's keep going.
OK, they're right about to touch the ground now.
No, they're not.
Whoa, they're going through the floor. Whoa, whoa!
His feet haven't even touched the floor yet, but Xand thinks they're falling through it.
Oh, that's really weird. They're through the floor.
Time for this lot to have a go.
10 centimetres.
So why do your legs feel like they've gone through the floor when they haven't?
It felt like when you was laying down, like all the blood was like draining from your lower part of your body, so it felt like your legs were getting numb.
Well, Olivia's on the right lines, but there's more to it than that.
When Chris held my legs up, the nerves in my joints relaxed and stopped telling my brain where my legs were. And having my eyes closed meant that when he lowered them again, my confused brain tried to work out the position of my legs, but kept getting it wrong. And that's why it felt like they'd fallen through the floor.
When it was nearly touching the floor, it felt like I was really under.
Try it yourself and see if you can feel it too.
We've got loads of amazing body tricks to show you. Here's how to stop your friends from simply moving a leg. I'm going to show you that I can stop Chris using his leg without even touching him. That's how strong I am. Do you think I can do it? You never. So what I'm going to do is get Chris to put his left foot against the wall, and you want to get it right flat up against the wall, so even the heel is against the wall. And then I'm going to get him to push his ear against the wall, okay? So push your ear against the wall.
This isn't going to work. How is this going to work?
It's going to work really well. It better work. Get your ear right up against the wall there, hard as you can.
Okay.
Come on, Chris, lift your leg. Let's go. Come on. Chris! See, I told you it'd work. Chris can't lift his right leg at all. OK, can you lot do any better?
No, your ear came away from the wall, Amelia.
Look at this.
Have to keep the ear on the wall. Go.
So what do you think's going on here?
You have to be able to lean to one side to be able to balance, but then the wall is blocking you to lean to one side.
That is a very good explanation.
Yeah, that's very good, actually.
To lift your left leg off the ground, your body weight has to shift directly over your right leg to keep your body balanced.
But with this trick, the wall gets in the way, meaning your leg can't go anywhere. Give it a try yourself and see if you can impress your mates.